Dear colleagues, participants of 4th International Conference Collins, I'd like to present you the study results from the Vinnytsia National Technical University authors team on the topic System for Definition of Indicator Characteristics of Social Network Participant Profiles. Authors are Oleh Bisikalo, Dean of the Faculty for Computer Systems and Automation in Vinnytsia National Technical University, and Anton, PhD student. I'll be talking about our suggested approach to the construction of the system for figurative processing of the textual information found in the participants' social network profiles, in future shortly SN. Consider an approach to the determination of the indicator characteristics of participant social network profiles based on the modeling of some generalized image. Typically, collecting data to solve similar problems is achieved by following steps. First one is determination of the set of significant indicator characteristics of related objects, particularly participant profiles in social networks. Second step is obtaining values of such characteristics for one object. And third step is accumulation of statistics for values for all studied objects. The next fourth stage should ensure that you gain useful knowledge from statistics in one way or another. For example, statistical analysis, machine learning, deep learning, so on. The result is breakdown of the primary object set into specific classes or categories. The choice and effectiveness of a method usually depend on the composition and types of data being analyzed. The subject of formalization will be a certain mnemonic process inherent to man. In order to formally solve the class of problems, we suggest to apply algebraic models of the operative memory's artificial mechanism in an artificial linguistic system. The actual task of in the development of the model is to determine and detail the image solution of the problem situation by using a group of formal operations on the ensemble of images and by modeling the orienting human reflex. For the first time, an algebraic solution to this problem was obtained, which considered the process of generalizing verbal information as a whole. According to Vygotsky, a basic synthesis operation allows to influence or infuse a meaning of a particular event or situation in a single image. Such an operation occurs in human memory and in particular on the basis of verbal features of the image if the event or situation become known through textual description. For example, a newspaper editor reads the news of an event and should give the message its own name, concise but striking and appealing to the reader. We show the fundamental possibility of constructing a resolution image within the model for the mechanism of memory. We will assume that previously n-verbal contender images have already been selected into the check set memory stack. Then it's necessary to definitively determine the components of the vector of emotional vector set. Otherwise, such verbal images will correspond to the positive signs of the situation, and to select one image with the highest weight n. The formulation of the problem of constructing an image of solving a problem situation was presented by expression 1. Formally, we look for the synthesis or construction of a solution image in an ins ZX. The main sources of the information for the model are short texts of the social network users, and we use the following notation. B vector is a binary code for the ith image of the emotion vector set. BOM is a binary code of images in the ensemble RAM. We add to the algebraic BAS system formal operations and predicates on the boulevards that meet the problem. Search operation of seek I-1 unit or units in the BOM binary code and end by predicate, which is true when not all bits of code have been viewed, where I is the number of the image in the ROM RAM memory, K is the unit number of the binary code corresponding to the ith image of the IE, and N is the number of units in the binary code, current RAM. Also, we suggest to use the operation new OM to transfer images components of the motion vector set in IE RAM, and operation new vector for the insertion into the vector of emotions vector set values from the choice set stack, and operation new choice for the uploading of the choice set stack of RAM memory. In graph diagrams for all algebraic constructs, we include the following notations of structural programming operators. Do is a loop by parameter condition, and the star symbol is composition. Consider the solution of problem 1 on the basis of such constituent operators. Operator pyramid images of binary code decomposition by OM to the codes of the image components. As a result of the action of the operator presented in figure 1, the well-known ByOM code defines the codes of the images that are part of the IE. For this purpose, in operator pyramid images, seen at formula number 7, a cycle along the length of the ByOM code is organized if there is a unit, then another element with a unit at this position and zeros on all others is added to the list of images. The cycle is limited by the number of units and in the ByOM binary code. Operator OM change vector, formula number 8, simulates the launch of the mechanism of constructing the image of the untying because new choice, new OM, and new vector operations are performed sequentially. The ins ZX unblocks constructor, see formula number 9, runs the corresponding OM change vector mechanism and submits its results to the oriented reflex model. Now we're going to quickly talk about the experiments and results. So to conduct the study, 1,500 user responses in English were collected since the recognition model works with English speech. This figure is small for real analysis since it covers only a smaller percentage of network users' reactions, but it is dictated by the limitations of Twitter API. This limitation can be circumvented by sending requests at fixed intervals, after which the request counter is reset to 0 and new requests can be sent. However, this approach will not work in the context of mobile applications, since even if we collect data on demand in the background for a certain period of time, there is a risk that the system will stop the background process. For the test needs, this number of tweets is enough because the goal is not to collect the most accurate statistics, but to demonstrate an approach to solving the problem. The analysis of user profile results show that the system recognized 4 languages that were supposedly used when writing tweets by this user. The result with highest score was the accuracy of English language, which is true. The remaining languages were recognized since the text could contain names or locations that were written similar to these languages, as well as due to errors in the recognition model. Figure number 3 shows the results of analysis of user reactions. We also analyzed the most mentioned places and personalities on the same principle as when analyzing user reactions to events on the network. These results were put on the one chart in order to determine the dependence between name and location. With this approach between related pairs of names and locations, the difference in the frequency of references will be insignificant. However, in the case of this user and dataset, the dependence was not detected. Summing up, it can be said that the created program successfully fulfills the tasks of analyzing the profiles of members in a social network, as well as determining their responses to the events inside the network. And to conclude this whole presentation, the system of for implementation of the process of automated determination of indicator characteristics of social network profiles, as well as determining the response of participants in the social networks to certain events has been proposed in this article. To develop the software for solving the goal of this research, the Kotlin programming language was chosen because of its ease of use for the creation of Android application, as well as Apache OpenNLP library for parsing data about news and network users. The developed system showed that proposed approach has substantially improved the accuracy and the amount of the characteristics of user profiles inside Twitter's social network by using the approaches that combine various natural language processing models and technologies. According to the authors, the further development of the research subject is the study of different natural processing models, which can be used as a base of the proposed system for definition of indicator characteristics of social network participant profiles. Thank you for your attention.